It's the Morning Brew with friends on a Tuesday. We got a packed house. Our buddy Greg Frost is back in with us today talking about all the latest mortgage news. We got Catherine Venter here to update us on the biopark, and I think she even brought some stuffed animals with her. Trisha Cheerhar and Izzy Martin are here, and I'm going to be trying on all new looks today on the Morning Brew. And Megan McCormick is here, and she's got some kids that are going to be doing some 80s dances all on the Morning Brew with friends.
Don't believe me, just watch.
All right, it's a great Tuesday morning, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is great.
Crisp outside, fall is falling.
It's happening, man. Well,
Love
it's
it.
nice to have you back. We had our little
Thanks.
bit of a fall break of our own.
Yeah, we sure did have a fall break.
Mm-hmm.
Place looks good.
Well, thanks. We're doing some remodeling.
Thanks to
We're working on
everybody.
it.
Yeah, thanks
Yes.
to everybody who did it.
Well, first things first, we got some headlines that are brought to us by our friends at the Tony and Guy Hairdressing Academy. And this first headline, I know this is something you've been paying attention to and watching because it affects your business in some ways. The president has signed a new budget. He's going to keep the government funded for the next 2 years. $80 billion in more spending on this is going to be paid for in other ways. But the big important part of the new budget is that it pays our bills. It raises the debt ceiling a little bit, and that's something in your line of work. You love to hear it when people say they're paying their bills.
We do, and Uncle Sam always pays.
Right.
Now, he may have to borrow to pay, but he always pays.
Always pays.
He may have to print money to pay, but he always pays.
I wish I could do that. I wish
Yeah,
I could just like,
raising the debt ceiling just means that what they did was they agreed to borrow more money.
Right.
And that's not necessarily a good thing, but the stability that it
Provides.
The end result of it was stable to the economy, and not only our economy, but the world economies, as you've seen.
And this keeps the stock market in check. It keeps
Yeah.
everything humming along. In this new budget, keeps everything going for 2 years.
2 years, and so we don't have to worry about it in December or March,
Right.
as had been previously speculated.
Right. And that government shutdown specter is gone for right now.
Well, and that's so important in New Mexico, because
Of
we've got a
course.
lot of government jobs in New Mexico, and when somebody thinks that they might lose their job or they might make less money, they don't go out and buy things like houses, which is particularly of interest to me.
Right,
Yeah.
or new TVs or whatever it may be. Yeah, you hold on to the stuff.
Right.
I think this is just cool. Facebook is changing its policies, maybe. They're talking about this, and I think this is really interesting. For a while, well, ever since it started, Facebook has had what's called a real name policy. You can only use your real name on Facebook. They want it to be legit. Right. And of course, nobody ever really does. You know, there's so many people who have fake names in one way or another. And the only way Facebook would really know is if somebody reported you. But all these people kept getting reported, especially like local actors, local celebrities, people who with stage names,
Sure.
who were using their stage name, were getting reported, and usually by rivals.
Sure.
And it was
Sure.
kind of a cyberbullying thing too.
It's always neat to see who silently complains about other people.
Right. And so Facebook is now deciding that it's a form of cyberbullying when people start reporting names. So now they're thinking, maybe we'll change it. And I know you were saying your wife uses a fake name.
She's a pseudonym. You
Yeah,
know.
and I think
She's
a lot
very
of us do.
private person. And so,
Right. Well, I'll let you in a little secret. I have an account under my dog. I do, and that's the one where I really let it all out.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
So your dog's very political?
Oh, she's super political, super interested. But you know what? It is her real name. I think this
How
next
many
one's
friends does your dog have?
probably more than you.
Oh, no kidding.
About 1,200 friends.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, I have
I
more
get
than
all
that.
my political info from Fozzie Bear.
Right. Fozzie Bear Dog has the most active Twitter account and Facebook account.
Well, I go on record, I do have more than 1,200 names.
Excellent.
As old as I am, I have more than 1,200
Excellent.
names. Friends on Facebook.
That's excellent. This next one, it's kind of sad. UNM has gotten hammered by The Economist. And I know that we've all heard about the new scorecard that the feds are putting out that says what you make after you graduate from whatever university. If you graduate from Harvard, you'll be making 100 grand a year. If you graduate from the University of New Mexico, you make about 40 grand a year.
Yeah.
And that puts us at the bottom of that list. So UNM students make about 40 grand a year, ranking us 1,186th of 1,275.
Ouch. Where's
schools.
Mississippi on that?
Probably 85. 85 is my guess. New Mexico State was 1189.
Oh, no
Just a
kidding.
little bit below.
You know, I had a friend that's son was choosing law schools.
Right.
It's the same thing with UNM Law.
Right.
He was looking at 50 grand coming out of UNM Law. He went to Denver Law. He was looking at 90 grand coming out of Denver Law. Yeah,
Yeah, it's amazing. And so The Economist is really hammering all of the schools like UNM that are on the bottom of that list. But the school where I went, not graduated from, but went to, New Mexico Tech, 770th. You can get out of there and make almost $100,000 a year.
Well, I have some people in my employ who have children that have graduated from New Mexico Tech. They've got great engineering careers all over the country, all over the world, actually. It's the MIT of the West. It's quite a school.
It absolutely is. And so this next one is very cool. It's a new airline starting from Albuquerque, flying to, of all places, Los Alamos. So I know that there are a lot of people who commute from Albuquerque to Los Alamos back and forth, and especially the engineers up at the labs there. And this new airline is basically serving those people. And it's also a good way. There's no good way to really drive quickly from Los Alamos to Albuquerque if you have to get to the airport to fly anywhere else. So Boutique Air is its name, and they're flying people down to Los Alamos.
How big are their planes, do you know?
They're like, I think they're 24-seat airplanes.
That's plenty.
It's plenty.
Yeah.
And it's fun to fly in those small planes.
You know, I had a friend who worked up there, and he had a physical thing. He had a heart attack, and they had to get him off the hill to a hospital quickly, and they airlifted him. There just happened to be a plane there. So I would think that there's going to be some emergency applications there of having regular service.
I can imagine a bunch of needs. You know, if I just want to get to Bandelier quickly. You know, that first snow, you see the aspens turning, just want to fly up there, see the aspens.
Well, you're going to get to now.
Right, absolutely. And I think this sounds like the best job ever. So there is a new company in Albuquerque. They're calling it Stream House. And the idea is put people in a house, let them play video games, and put that footage on YouTube. And there's a guy on YouTube right now, his name is PewDiePie, is what he goes by on YouTube. And he makes $12 million a year playing video games and yelling at the screen. That is his whole thing.
You got to be kidding me.
I am not even kidding. And he's got this huge YouTube channel that it's all he does is play video games and yell at the screen.
And he makes $12 million.
$12 million a year doing that.
Who pays him $12 million?
YouTube.
I do.
Right. All of us, by watching YouTube, we pay him.
Oh, my goodness.
And it's an amazing thing. So local guys are like, well, hey, we could totally do that. So they lined up the Stream House, and they're having auditions this week for people to show up and see basically who can play a video game the most entertainingly.
Be the most animated.
Right.
Yeah.
In my case, I've always felt like when I've tried to watch some of these video channels, with the video game channels, and I always feel like I'm watching my buddy play, but he won't let me have a turn. You know? And you're just watching over your friend's shoulder rather than like learning something about the game. I just feel like I'm left out. But people love it, and these guys make tons of money doing it.
Well, you need to let us know how your audition goes.
I will. I should totally do it. And then finally, we got our buddy Jesus Payan. It's not Jesus, it's Jesus Payan.
No, it's not.
Yeah, he
Is
goes
it
by,
really?
right. I love this guy. He's a comedian. He was on Breaking Bad. He's been on Better Call Saul. He's been on The Morning Brew with Friends a couple of times. He's awesome. He's a comedian. He's funny. He's really funny. But he's decided he's running for president. And he launched his campaign as a Democrat, and he's going out, and he's going to try to do it.
Going to take on Hillary.
Yeah.
I'll be darned.
We'll see what happens. I don't know if the Breaking Bad celebrityness of kind of secondary character in Breaking Bad has the cachet that Hillary and Secretary of State has.
Think that'll carry him.
Right. But we wish Jesus the best of luck, and maybe he could come and give his stump speech here on The Morning Brew. I think that would be great.
We can only hope.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely. We'll be back in a couple of seconds. We'll talk to Greg more about what the new president's budget means for mortgages and also about all the latest mortgage news in just a couple of seconds.